Hello and welcome to the UK Surf Show. We are your hosts. I'm Pete.
And I'm Mitch, and on today's episode, we bomb across to the other East Coast, not from this East Coast, because there's two East Coasts here, and we speak to Jay from Jay Surfboards, who you may have heard of. Last year had a horrendously unfortunate experience, and let's get into that.
Yeah,
here we go.
Cool. Well, my name's Jason Barnett, and this is my business called Jay Surfboards. I've been running Jay Surfboards for nearly 20 years. In the back garden in a shaping shed, and then to the proper workshop in the last 9 years.
I think everyone in the whole of the UK surfing community knows about Jay Surfboard.
Well, I would argue it's probably bigger than the UK.
Well, yeah, I would, yeah.
Yeah, not everybody though. Still people don't know me.
So I mean, I wasn't expecting to jump straight off onto that, but Pete's
just where it went.
Straight
in there.
I guess for anyone that isn't aware of Jay Surfboards, for the worst reason that a lot of people will be, what happened?
For the worst reason.
For the worst reason.
Well, for the place burning down. I had a fire in March last year.
Okay.
Still doesn't feel that long ago.
Was it that long ago?
It's only March.
Doesn't feel like it was that long. Bloody hell.
So yeah, it's not that long ago. And lost the entire contents of the workshop and everything that was in it.
Was it packed out at the time as well?
Yeah. Repairs, boards getting made, all my boards, everything that I wanted to do with surfing was in here.
Your whole collection's worth of.
So just tools, the whole lot.
Everything, yeah.
Boards that I've collected over years, surfing memorabilia.
Man.
And a lot.
You had some serious. I mean, we'll come on to I guess the business aspect of it shortly, but just your memorabilia alone, from experience, I've come down here. You've made me an insane board, which I'm sure most of our listeners have seen because I'm banging on about it a lot. I still think it's the best looking board on earth.
Hence picture just here now.
Yeah, but every time I come in here, you'd show me some other boards from you've got from professional, big, famous name surfers over the years, and signed boards from these people, and talk about some of them memorabilia boards you have had. Yeah.
Oh, there was a lot. How did I even start on that? I got an old Town and Country. The first one I got was an old Town and Country board I seen for sale, and I was like, I'm going to fix it up. Yeah. So that's my background, doing repairs. I started doing repairs first and then making boards. And then so I got this board shipped up. It was about 150 quid. No one was buying it because it was pretty beaten up. And I took a couple of months and just went through and cleaned it up, took the fins off, replaced the fins and stuff, and refurbished the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then once it was done, I just kind of posted some pictures up on vintage collectors pages and groups and stuff on Facebook and things and stuff like that. So, and people were like, "Well, what an awesome job!" So I kind of just got the kind of taste for getting old vintage boards that could be fixed up and kind of restored.
Mm-hmm.
And then that kind of just got the buzz for restore, preservation of old vintage boards. Not necessarily UK stuff, but it's anything that's super cool.
Yeah.
That you didn't that is in the UK.
Yeah.
They're hard to come by.
Yeah.
But they kind of need fixed up.
Something that comes with a real story.
Yeah. Ones that got stories are the ones that are more sought after and stuff. People would want to collect those, and if they're kind of done up a bit as well, they look better. So, but yeah, I had what was it? I can't remember. What's his name? Mark Liddell.
Right.
I don't know if you heard of Mark Liddell. So he's for 60s, 70s Hawaiian.
Right.
Okay.
Buttons.
Yeah, that rings a bell. Yeah.
So he's one of his best friends,
Yeah.
Mark Liddell. He's in like loads of old school films and stuff, surfing.
Yeah.
When they were doing all the hot dogging on single things and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I managed to get one of his boards. It was in the UK.
Oh,
So there's just like this whole story. This the guy that opened the first surf shop in the UK. Oh God, it's, can't remember his name. Keith, is it Keith Suckham or something like
No idea.
that? So there's one first guy opened a surf shop in the UK. His mate was in Hawaii, brought this board back and gave it to this guy. I'm sure it's Keith. And brought his board back and gave it to him, and he stuck it up in the rafters for about 40 years. So he sat there, with the pictures you could see the actual lines where it was sitting on the rafters, where the UV's kind of been hitting it.
Yeah, right.
And it still had the leash. You could still see the leash lines.
Peel it off.
because it's been sitting for that long doing nothing.
Yeah.
But it was in pretty bad way. So I managed to fix that one up.
And are these boards like late night trawls on the internet trying to find stuff, or
No, this was on eBay.
right?
Yeah.
Just casually. As you like.
Not like one
I
of
just
my
done
mates
some,
who
yeah.
just gets pissed up and is like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'll buy that."
Yeah.
It's always amazing. People might have stuff, they just think just another board lying up there, or whatever it might be in their industry or their chosen thing and hobby, and realise that was actually worth quite a bit, or it had an amazing story to go with.
Well, I paid quite a bit for that one
Right.
because I knew the name.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the story behind it, I was like, right, okay, this is one in a million, this board.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And it's a sponsored team board as well, and it's
Yeah.
Hawaiian, so it's actually worth more than what I paid for it once it was all fixed up
Yeah.
as
Of
well.
course.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the point. It was just kind of just preserving. It's
Definitely.
kind of like an artifact, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, how did it end up here, and the whole story behind it. But there was a lot of other stuff.
Did you have if I remember right, did you have a Kelly board that he like won his first title on or
That's
something
the
like
only
that?
board that wasn't in here.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
What was the story of that board?
The Kelly board.
Yeah.
The Kelly board was that was a raffle prize for Surfers Against Sewage in 2013.
Right.
So it's got Kelly Slater 2012 signed on it
Yeah.
by him. But yeah.
Somebody won it, and I presume you didn't
and
win
then-
it.
No, I didn't win it.
Just somebody won it and sold it
The
straight
guy,
away.
the guy who won it, had it for about 6 years or so,
Right.
and then decided to sell it.
And I think that you spoke to Kelly about that board, didn't you? You said, did you not send him a picture of the board
No, I took the board up to St Andrews
when he was in the golf tour?
in October.
Yeah.
It was October. Yeah, October.
Yeah.
In October. So me and my mate went up with the board, just walked round, and then at the end just had a chat with him about the
Just
board.
walking around a golf course for a massive golf game with a board. Like, who's this guy?
Did you get to re-sign it again as well?
No.
Did he see it?
It's already been signed, so I didn't have to
Yeah,
sign
fair
it again.
enough. Yeah.
But it was just to get him to hold it, get him a photo,
Yeah.
a photo of him holding it. And
You were doing him a favour, really.
so,
And now it's
Showing him
worth
his
even
history.
more. Now you've got the photo to prove it.
well, just to see if he actually remembered it. But he's had that many boards.
Yeah, true.
They get massive quivers, and that's
Yeah.
so that's a one he had when he was doing the European League,
Yeah.
European side of the tour. So,
You know,
he said it doesn't look like it's been surfed much.
So,
I've been surfed
so-
once.
it's not been surfed once with that signature on it, mate. It's not going to either.
Yeah, but it's just maybe one he did in the gel way.
Yeah.
You know, that's all it is. He gets that many and just
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
How restoring really old boards, 60s, 50s, 70s sort of boards, I guess with completely different constructions. Somebody brings, I've brought my own boards in to get repaired from you, probably feel straightforward. But if you're repairing boards that are that old with different constructions, is it quite a difficult thing to put together? Is there more to it?
Yeah, well, it depends how far you want to go with them. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Depends on the customer,
Yeah.
what they want to do.
It's, the actual, obviously, what it's made of changes.
Constructions
Yeah.
and resins, and if you're trying to match a 60s board, if a full restore, are you using modern resins and
Yeah, it's
fibers?
just the same stuff. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not changed much at all.
No, it's not changed at all.
Oh, is it not?
No.
Oh, I'm surprised. to
It's
hear
just
that.
just these ones that have changed.
Firewire.
Just epoxy.
All right, okay.
Just epoxy construction boards. EPS.
I
Right.
know, I was always under the
So
impression that older, like 50s, 60s boards were made different inside than what the newer boards are made. But no?
nah.
No.
Same foam, PU foam.
All right.
PU foam, same fiberglass.
Learn something new every
That's,
day.
right. That's why we're on a surf show.
Yeah.
Yeah. The resin's slightly different,
Okay.
but nah, basically exactly the same.
And how, if it's pretty much exactly the same, how is it so different then from the weight of, you pick up a board that's like from the 60s, 70s, and you pick up a modern board, the weight's massively different.
No necessarily. It depends on what the board does.
Yeah.
Depends on the board.
Yeah, I just like...
I've got, there's quite a lot of the older boards are actually quite light.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's like
Yeah,
there's
see,
a couple of town and countries in here and there actually.
I'll have to,
It's like
I'll have to see, because like some of
grovel kind of size.
Yeah.
And they're obviously they're different to that. It's
Yeah.
part of CPS and stuff. It's lighter.
Yeah.
But if it's a PU, it's basically the same.
Yeah, because I've always found, like, when I've picked up an older board, like
Yeah.
from that sort of age, I've always found it to be like, you pick it up and you're like, oh, this is quite heavy.
Depends if
Well,
it's been
generally
restored
fatter,
though.
though.
If it's maybe been restored through its time or something, or there's maybe
Yeah.
been more resin being applied to it and like a gloss
Okay.
resin or something,
Yeah.
and somebody's sanded off the stuff before they put a new layer on, and
Yeah.
yeah, you can add more weight if you're doing stuff like that. But
Okay.
Yeah. So when did it become from you, fixing a few boards in your shed, as you said, to actually I can make a go of this and start making a business out of it, or was it just naturally happen?
it's just a natural progression. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was. I wasn't thinking about doing a business. That was the last thing I was thinking about
Yeah.
doing. I was working anyway, so
Yeah.
just doing repairs, and then started getting curious about making surfboards, and then made a couple more, surfed them. Like, yeah, they go.
Yeah.
They're not amazing,
Yeah.
but they go. Like, you can make a surfboard, it'll go.
Yeah.
It might look really ugly, but it'll still surf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nah, it just escalated into getting busier and busier through
Yeah.
repairs, and then getting busier doing some board orders as well.
I didn't surf then. I'm wondering, when you kind of started out, the surf scene culture in Scotland, certainly around where we are now, was there other places making boards, or was there other shops, and was there shapers around here you could go to?
In the early days, like before I even started doing repairs and stuff like that, there was Momentum Surf Shop
Okay.
in
Yeah,
town,
with Martin.
in Edinburgh,
Yeah, Martin.
and then you had Boardwise as well
Right, okay.
before the internet, and
Mm.
then it obviously killed everything.
Yeah.
But that's when you could go into a surf shop and look at surfboards and chat and watch videos and
Yeah,
do you know
okay.
what I mean? Actual VHS.
Yeah. Same as the old skate
Hardcore
skate
tapes.
shops and surf shops. It was just
Yeah,
go in, hang
That's the
out,
vibe.
sit down,
Yeah.
watch a video all day.
yeah.
I've wasted 6 hours. See you later. I'm
Well,
going home.
That's what
So I
TikTok's
used
for now.
So before I even thought about making boards or doing repairs, I worked in Momentum Surf Shop for about four
Right, okay,
years
yeah.
doing that. And then I got a job for Rip Curl doing a Newquay,
Mm-hmm.
just doing repping through Scotland and Northern England.
Yeah.
I was a bodyboarder when I started for
Right.
them, but then the requirement was you can't be a bodyboarder and work for Rip Curl.
Yeah.
So that's when I started
That seems
surfing.
fair.
So I started stand-up surfing then, and never looked back.
So had you never stand-up surf before that then?
No,
No. How did you find that transition?
it was quite quick.
Quite quick, yeah.
So why didn't you like yourself very much before you started proper surfing? No, so like the progression that seems quite naturally, and then to the boards I've seen that you've made and pictures I've seen you made, you must be getting some fantastic returning customers, and I know you got one happy guy next to you who's so I don't think there's a person on Instagram that hasn't seen that board yet.
Well, the only person that hasn't seen that board on Instagram is fucking board porn.
I'm sure he posted that.
No, he didn't.
Did he not?
No.
Like he's got that many.
Yeah, but I mean, to be, you know, I might be biased because it's tartan and whatever, and you know, Scottish, blah blah blah. But that board is fucking spectacular.
Yeah,
like
it's
honestly,
Took us long enough to get the graphics.
Oh,
You know
big
what?
time.
Yeah,
It's
sorted
like just
it.
being at the wave with him, and the amount of people going, "Oh, is that the board? Can I have a look at the board?" Like
you do.
yeah.
Even like you know, when I'm surfing Saltburn, I'll put the board on the bag because it doesn't go into concrete. Obviously, it's way
Yeah.
too pristine for that. And people would come over and just be like, "What is that? That is stunning."
Yeah.
It's special. Like it is a special board. Like
Oh, we can do it on every board.
not in that tartan, you can't. That's a one-off.
That's a one-off Mitchell tartan, is it? You're the only one.
I love that board, and actually the thing is with that board as well, it wasn't just about the Mitchell tartan and the artwork. It was about, at the time, I was kind of curious, and I've always been curious about this, especially in the UK. I feel like it's a peer pressure thing about people are almost forced to think they have to have the shortest equipment possible. We don't live in Hossegor.
Yeah.
Mostly we have weak, sloppy, choppy waves, and they don't necessarily match, you know, a really short board with no volume. And I didn't get it. And then I used a 5.7, in fact the board that's a replica of, a Machado Creeper, I think it was, and it was a 5.7. And yeah, I learnt quite quick, you just take off a little bit later, but once you're on a wave, it's effortless to surf the board. And that was kind of where I was curious, and that's what that board was for. And it does that. It does exactly that, actually. But the thing is, where you've packed the volume into that board, you couldn't have put it more perfect, because I was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to surf this when I picked it up. And actually, it goes better than most of the boards I've got.
Yeah.
Like, it is perfect for most days, and I'm surprised at some of the conditions I'm able to take it out on. Like some of the smaller days and choppier days, when it's obviously mega choppy, a board that short, just not enough rail engaging in the water,
Doesn't
it
matter what you've
skips
got
out.
under your
Yeah.
feet yet.
And,
But I got it, and
Yeah.
that board is, I can't get enough of it. I love it.
Mr. Ben Gravy liked it as well,
Mr.
didn't
Ben
he?
Gravy liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he
cool, isn't it?
loved it actually. He
Yeah.
really got on with it. I'm so chuffed he didn't snap it clean in two when he was doing nails off it.
I'm so
I can
you
be
know
struggling to snap that thing.
he was.
Yeah, but it might have landed on the wall. He got some
what
pop
he
in
was
his
doing,
ears.
Yeah. Like, what was he on? Expert barrels doing like reverse takeoffs.
Well, no, but it
and,
wasn't
like,
so
pop
much that.
shove
It was
basically.
it was the fact that he'd been surfing an 8-foot foamy the whole time. So you know the
Yeah.
power he's putting through it to do fucking nails on a foamy and then
Yeah.
jumping on a 5.7.
You're like freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, jumping out the pool on it.
yeah. No, he liked it as well, and you know, it was nice to see it surfed out. It was supposed to be surfed as well. It was
Yeah.
really
It's the only,
Put the board to its test.
Yeah.
it's the only other person that surfed that board. No one gets a shot on it.
Is
That's
it?
how it's going to stay.
I always when you're
You see,
asleep, I
can't
stand
see-
on
He
it.
said it was a wee bit too small for him, but it still made it go.
It's quite a big lad, like,
Yeah, he's-
in
yeah.
fairness.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's what always my problem. Every time I've tried a shortboard, I sit on it and I'm like sat on the ocean floor basically and just sink the things.
Sinking them.
stop
Yeah.
eating Scottish pies, Pete.
They're nice
Spoke
though.
about this. He just had his first Scottish pie on the way here.
It's alright. It's a good one. It wasn't the best one.
It's
I
not
don't
a ton
think.
now.
No.
No, it was a cold one.
I'm all about the Scottish food this week, aren't I? Yeah.
So obviously, you know, then this happened. Sadly, kind of how did you find out, and what actually happened? Do you know?
So there was had a friend in here he was doing like a repair on the morning on the Saturday.
Yeah.
So I gave him the keys on the Friday night, and he was doing some work in here that morning, that kind of
Mhm.
afternoon. And I teach swimming as well at the weekends, so I was finished doing that at 1 o'clock, and then went into town to pick a board up on the way back. And then just when I was driving in through the gates there, I was just like, seeing this smoke. And it's like, what the hell's going on in here? And then just get closer and closer and closer, and you realise it is coming for the fucking workshop. And I got to the end of the road there, and I couldn't drive any further, so I had to just reverse round, drive round on the grass area, come round, so hopefully see that he's actually out the building.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first thing I done is just go out and phone the fire brigade.
Oh, so were you pretty much first on scene as well to it? Was there no one about?
No, he was here, and there was another guy in one of the workshops was here. And that was it. I was the only people that were
Right.
nearby, really. Saturdays, it's not that busy.
Okay.
So I turned up and then just phoned the fire brigade. And there was nothing you could do because it was fully established then. The roof was popping.
Yeah, okay.
It was the flames were coming through the roof and the black smoke coming through and stuff like that. So, yeah, there's not even a chance to run in and try and salvage, take anything out.
Right, okay.
So, but yeah, it was only 10 minutes when I arrived.
Right.
But it's a fully established fire.
Yeah.
So
There's no time to do anything, is there? Something like that.
No. So he was trying to get a hose connected. He couldn't find it. He was just running about crazy.
Yeah, I bet, yeah. I mean, what do you do?
Yeah. So
I mean, I presume when the resins go, that's it. They're highly flammable.
It was nothing to do with the resin at all. So supposedly there was the Hoover extraction kind of system was left on for over an hour or something. So either the motor's overheated or he's hoovered something up because he was doing some routing work. So it's either that or that. We kind of pinpoint which it was.
Right.
Yeah.
The fire investigation team couldn't even pinpoint where the fire even started.
Yeah.
The amount of mess there was. But the main thing, it was like the roof went up.
Yeah.
Basically, because there's like old kind of insulation panels on these roofs.
Right.
It's like the buildings are made in 1940.
Yeah.
And there's no health and safety thought process behind building
Materials
regulations
and that,
back in
yeah.
May days. So it didn't take long for the fire to travel through the roof, because there's brick walls between each kind of building here as well.
Yeah.
So it travelled through into the classrooms next door. So thankfully it was on a Saturday. There was nobody here. But so yeah, the fire just kept travelling through the roof, everything just falling down and setting things alight from like
So was
stuff
it this,
from above
the
coming
whole,
down, and
the
then
whole block went, did it?
just about. Yeah, the fire brigade managed to stop it travelling any further. So, but they basically just let it burn.
And how do you, what do you do? How do you think? Do you think in that moment, do you think, well, that's it, that's everything fucked? Or do you think, how do I rebuild this? What do I do?
Oh, you don't think anything. You just it's gone.
Yeah.
My mate was like, there'll be stuff left. It was just like, there's be fuck all left. There's nothing left in there. Once this fire's finished, there's nothing. So
and after that initial shock of obviously everything's gone, how long then do you think, right, I'm gonna have to start again, carry on, and what are the thought processes there? How
Did you want
go?
to start again?
I think it was just in my head straight away. I was just like, what the hell? It's like, no, it's not even straight away, but once you kind of get past all the emotions and stuff,
Yeah.
and you start thinking a bit clearer,
Yeah.
so
accepting
you
the reality.
just accepting it all.
Yeah.
You're like, what else am I going to do? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
This is where I've become. This is the path that I've travelled along. So there's no point in giving up.
Yeah. And I suppose at the other side of that, you actually got to witness the best side of social media that is out there, that can possibly
The
be
community,
out there. Yeah.
can come together in a way that, all the negative press social media has, actually in an impressive way. So I'm wondering what your experience of that was.
Oh, it blew me away.
Yeah.
Because it was like, that was on the Sunday. Straight away there was like GoFundMe pages getting set up, and I was just like, my partner was just like telling me what was happening, and I'm just like, I'm not even looking.
Yeah.
And just like, why are they doing that? You know what I mean? It's just like, just didn't think about these things at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, still gets me.
Yeah.
So it's So a lot of people sending lots of like nice messages and support and things like that, and then obviously all the help, like fund help, and people offering to send tools and just help any way they can, and people obviously offering themselves to help rebuild stuff when it gets going and things like that. But just people being nice, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just offering help any way they can.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't come to anything, it doesn't
No,
matter.
no, definitely, yeah.
It's just the offering it's nice just to...
Nice to see that people actually
Nice to
care
hear.
as well, right?
Yeah. So...
I think that's nice. I know like sometimes surf community gets like a bad press of like, it can be aggro, localism, everything. But I think when something happens, you see how much of it, none of that sort of matters. It's all one big community. I think that's something that's really nice to see.
Yeah, it wasn't just the UK.
Yeah.
It was mental what was happening. It's all over the planet.
Yeah.
So it's like there's quite a lot of guys in California as well, like big names.
Yeah.
Like getting in touch, just saying, just sorry to hear what happened and things like that. It's just like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I've seen some of it.
community,
That is a community, yeah, exactly.
Devin Howard,
Yeah.
he got in touch. There's just some other cool guys. There was a guy came in here in 2019 called Jim Phillips.
Yeah.
You heard of him? He's a longboard shaper.
Yeah, rings a bell,
California guy.
Yeah.
He came in here for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And he was passing by. He was in Europe doing some shaping.
Was he with? Is that one of the ones that was with Brad?
Brad Rochford.
Brad Rochford. They were doing a shaping thing, I think.
No.
Is that not? No.
No,
I'm getting them mixed up.
No, you're just...
I'm mixing
you're
loads
just throwing
of
out
people
ideas, Pete.
No, just spitballing,
But I saw even, not just the individual names, but I've seen some of the globe's biggest surf brands and publications, Inertia, Stab, for example, sharing the story.
Yeah, that was through friends getting in touch with them and just sending them the links, and then they done a kind of story piece and their own thing on it and stuff like that. But going back to this guy Jim Phillips, he obviously heard about what happened and he got in touch just saying, what do you need? It's just like, what? He's like, nothing. They're just like, or just any little tools or anything like that, it's just like, you don't want to ask for stuff when somebody says that. You're like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I'm not even back in the place. You know what I mean? This is like, I don't even know. So he's like, I'm going to put a little package together for you. He said a little package, and I'm just like, okay. And then this box arrives a couple of months later on, and it's got like an old skill planer in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a proper like old school.
Yeah.
It's through there.
Silver one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's huge. It weighs a ton.
Yeah.
And then so he works with like the cool old guys at Savage Surfboards. You heard of them? So Savage
Surfboards.
No, I know heard of them.
No.
So there's a whole like group of these old boys.
Right.
They're really good shapers. Have been going for like since the 60s.
Is this in US?
This is California.
California,
San Diego.
Yeah.
So they put together some tools and stuff and put in a box, and then Jim got the planer and things like that, and that turned up at the door.
So just before you're even open here, you just got all this stuff in your house.
Just arrives, and it's like, how cool is that?
One of the most sought after planers, isn't it? Like these old skill ones.
And it's used by like a guy who's the head shaper at Savage as well. I can't remember his name. So that was quite cool.
Yeah.
But it's been hard just to think about what I had to actually even get. It's like starting again.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So I guess at the point you got this stuff turning up. I presume you've decided by this point you're building again, you're starting again, or are you still not quite set that you're going to be where we are now? Was it just still an idea to get it back up and running, or were you already in the process of starting to rebuild?
Once I could draw plans out and stuff, where things were going,
Mm-hmm.
like walls, sockets, lights,
Yeah.
things like that. I just put all that together. That was kind of like, okay, it's actually happening.
Yeah.
Till I started seeing stuff getting put in, like, you know, the walls getting put in and stuff. So that's what I came doing most of the time, just to get photos, just to document that. Because that's quite a big thing anyway as well.
Yeah. So like on switching it around a bit, so you said you were working for Rip Curl, they said you had to start proper surfing. When was that? So when did you start proper surfing, as we now refer to it? When did that start, and how did your journey go from then, from your surfing side?
I should have wrote this down.
When did you work for Rip Curl?
I think that was like mid-90s.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, it must be.
Yeah.
And did you stay down in UK for quite a bit once you started stand up?
Just in there for a couple of weeks.
All right, okay.
Picking up your samples.
All right, okay.
So where's like the bodyboarding side of it then? If you started bodyboarding, were you bodyboarding around this area or? Yeah. Ah, nice. So and then just brought that back up. You've got to start surfing around here.
Yeah.
So what was the first board then? Did you buy or did you build for your first stand-up shortboard?
No. I got a Nigel Simmons Rip Curl semi-gun thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That was the first board I think I got.
How was that?
It wasn't big enough.
I think we've all made that mistake.
I think it was a 6'6" or something. But
mid-length Pete.
Yeah.
But yeah.
6'6" is not mid-length.
It's not to do with the size, it's the shape.
No, I disagree completely.
But nah, this is coming through like the time when that's what you bought, you know.
Yeah.
You bought a shortboard.
Yeah.
It's a shortboard or a longboard. There was nothing else.
And shortboarding was that your go-to?
Yeah.
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 Still the same now?
I just shortboarded for years.
Yeah.
Shortboarded the wrong boards, some boards, yeah.
So what's your now go-to board then? See,
this is
yeah. This is what I like to ask shapers, because you go, "What's your go-to board?" And they're like, "Well, I got fucking all of these to choose."
I could build my own.
Oh yeah, I've not got that anymore.
Yeah, well done, Pete.
Yeah, well, you will do at some point.
Yeah, I need to build them again. But this board's sitting here. This is 7.4. I made that about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But that's the board I'd ride most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
That kind of size board.
And how do the rail, like you explain the shape of that? Why it's sat behind you? Explain the shape and how that works and what it does.
It's an edge board.
Yeah.
Have you seen one before?
I've not seen that like that before. No.
All right. So edge boards, they're designed in the mid-60s by George Greeno.
Right. Yeah.
So they came from knee boards.
Yes.
He was I never decided. He was going through a whole design process that from his hull bottom knee boards, they weren't that smooth when it was a bit choppier or a bit bumpy.
Yeah.
So he started putting beaded kind of rails on the bottom of them, just getting some resin and beading it up.
Yeah.
And trying to cut the chop up a bit more.
Yeah.
And then he started going into the edge board design from the bottom of boats.
Ah, right.
It's like chined rails as well.
Okay. Yes.
It's really similar.
Yeah.
But the edge is obviously releases water a lot faster off the opposite side of the board.
Right.
So a lot of surfers don't think about that aspect to surfboard design.
Yeah.
The rail that's out the water is actually affecting how fast your board goes.
Yeah,
because the water travels across the bottom of the board.
Yeah.
And if it's got something to grab as it's coming across the board, then it'll grab it and slow it down. It's like your nose rider.
Yeah.
It'll come around that rail and actually hug it and go, slow down.
Yeah.
So I think to anyone listening,
anything that's got like a harder edge the whole way down,
the
water will release off that opposite side faster.
So you got literally just lets it release earlier.
Wetted surface area.
Yeah.
So for anyone listening that can't see, the way staring at this now to describe it is the bottom looks like it could be the top with the exception of the rocker. And it's got it's like a cutaway rail into a deep groove.
It looks like I just said, like a bottom of a boat. Like,
You like you like to play with your shapes as well, don't you? Like a bit of an ASIM setup as well.
Yeah, but everything you got to push the design, but yeah, there's so much more in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, you tell us then. Yeah.
The main characteristic of it is it's fast.
Yeah.
It's the fastest bottom contours you can put on a surfboard.
Okay.
Right.
It'll go faster than any other board. Obviously, because the rail that's engaging, you're getting drive off of this part as well, like the base of your fin.
Right.
But obviously, you've got the fin sticking up, so you've got a long base to run on as you're driving along the face, and as soon as you go into that turn and apply the pressure on your heels or your toes, you start to drive faster as well. And obviously the release off the other side, it's no capturing the board and slowing it down. It makes it a lot more maneuverable.
That's what I was going to say.
It's no less stable or anything. It's just...
No, I was going to say, is it twitchy at all? Or?
It's not, no, because that's a bigger one.
Yeah.
Once you start going smaller with that craft, then it starts to become a little bit twitchier, but it depends on how narrow the board is how twitchy it becomes, because the edges are getting closer. Mm-hmm. So the tipping points getting greater.
So for something like that, would you initially go wider because you know you're going to bring the
other
underneath in?
You just go as wide as what you'd maybe normally be on a mid-length or, but if you wouldn't put on a short board.
No.
It's totally pointless.
Yeah.
You see this design in like big wave boards, big wave guns and stuff like that as well now.
Yeah.
Right.
There was a post up the other day. Twiggy, is it Twiggy? He's called. I can't remember what it's called. Twiggy.
Oh, Grant Twiggy Baker.
I think that's his name. There's a picture of him on Instagram with his Bushman quiver.
Yeah.
Like big wave paddling guns, and it's got an edge design on it.
Ah, right.
They're better for big days, because the edge is cutting through and making the board go smoother as well.
So what about if you were, say, that's better for bigger days, would it still react well and be fast on a smaller day? Could you put something like a flex fin in it or something like that? Would that work with that? Yeah. You're
not really, on a small day, you're not going to feel the flex fin too much unless you can actually get a bit of speed going, but
so that's what I mean. So because that's going faster on a small day, if you put the flex fin in it, it's going to react more to that. Yeah,
in theory it should, Yeah.
See.
Compared to like a hull.
Yeah,
you kind of lose a bit of speed.
Yeah.
That's why they're kind married together, you know what I mean? Like the edge board, the hull design, it's come from the same place. It's kind of similar design to like a... What's it called? What do they call it? The Ryan Lovelace the Fick Lizzie. Have you seen one? Fick Lizzie. So it's got like a chined rail on it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of similar bottom in a way, with tapered edge running down into the rail, so it tapers away on the tail there on the rail. And if you'd done that with a chined rail, it wouldn't be as fast, but it'd feel still quite manoeuvrable as well.
So going from a board like this to, from a shaper's perspective, somebody like me comes in and I'm asking for a replica of the board that I asked you for. That's probably, from your perspective, pretty dull, I guess. If somebody comes in asking for something a bit off the grid or a bit different, ASIM,
like an ASIM or something.
What's the sort of thing when somebody comes in that really gets you and you're like, oh, this is a challenge, or this is that I really want to do this? Not that I'm saying you don't not want to do the Machado your replica, but do you know what I mean? It's something that's testing you, or you think, I really want to stick into this because it's something I want to get in.
It's very rare somebody comes in like that.
You get anything then that you've thought, well, there's
it's
that
kind of chatting to somebody about things like that, and then they go, oh, okay. They might go away and think about it, and then they come back and maybe order something like that. Like there's very, very, very few people order like an edge board.
Okay.
Very few people order an asymmetrical board, especially if they've never surfed one before, because they just don't understand why it works.
Do you have? I've spoken to shapers before, and they've said this is similar, but you have people that come to you with what they think they want.
Yeah.
But you have to guide them to what they actually need.
But just chatting to them about design and making them understand it a bit easier than what they've been reading about.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem. You can go away and look at the internet and just be like flooded with like so much, some garbage, and some information that's just going to blow your head up. It's just too much there.
Yeah.
And they can never kind of pinpoint their style.
Yeah.
To how they should have it in a board. Do you know what I mean? Or what it should actually. How can I get this surfboard to fit me?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's where you need to speak to somebody about it.
Yeah, my style's old and slow.
Yeah, I guess you just want a board to just be
a big board old and slow.
Complement your ride.
But I guess if you've not seen that person surf either, somebody can come in and they can talk the biggest surf game ever, but they might not be able to surf. They might be.
But you just gotta be honest. Just be honest. Just like
Yeah.
Ask the right questions. You know what I mean? It's like, where you surfing? How long you been surfing?
Yeah,
that's the big thing. It's like, how long you been surfing? Somebody says 3 years, you're just like, it's not long.
Yeah.
I mean, even 5 years, that's not long at all.
Yeah, and I suppose
you think you might be really good,
as well,
but it's only 5 years.
Yeah, it's water time as well, because someone surfing 3 years that surfs once every few weeks or once a month.
That lives in Newquay surfing for 3 years as opposed to surfing up here and surfing for 3 years.
So if you live in Newquay and you're surfing for 3 years, you're going to be like, all right, you're probably at a level if you've been surfing more or less every day.
If you've got consistency.
Or if you live at a wave pool, if you can afford it.
Yeah. Well, there'll be a lot of repairs to come out of that as well.
Yeah, it's just down the road.
And your own surfing when you were younger, did you get involved in comps and stuff like that?
Very, very rarely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it you not? Some surfers just not that against it.
In the kind of beginning when I was just kind of getting into bodyboarding and stuff.
Yeah.
I was kind of going up to Scottish and things like that, just because that's what you've done.
Yeah.
And then just kind of moved away from that and you just do your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just go surfing.
Absolutely.
So it's just the competition thing is a totally different mindset, and it's totally you surf differently. You're not out there like chilled out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think the competition mindset is not enjoyable at all.
Yeah.
I think personally, I think competition takes everything out of surfing that's enjoyable about it.
So in 2015, I went on like a surf trip to Lewis and North Coast, and at the end of that trip, the Scottish was happening.
Yeah.
So I decided to enter.
Yeah.
Into the Open and the Masters, 2015, and managed to get to the final of the Masters.
Right.
And I was riding a board like a 5-3, kind of like a Tomo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Another
one
cut
you mean,
nose,
almost straight
tail.
front nose.
Yeah, I made a couple of them, and I was riding this 5-3 thing. It was like super thin and stuff, but I was super fit.
Yeah.
And everybody else is on like normal boards, and then here's me with this crazy spaceship, and managed to actually win it. Thankfully, to somebody doing an interference on somebody else.
Wins a win.
Wins a win, isn't
Wins
it?
a win.
Doesn't matter.
Right place, right time, and all that.
Yeah, if you win, you win.
But that was I.
And then where are we at now? For me, it's the first time I've seen the place since it seemingly back up and running. Where are you at now with it? Are you still setting up, or?
Still things to do. I just put the glassing rack up there the other day.
Yeah.
So just getting in here, and then things are going to find places. They'll find their places. So I've got some extraction to put in
and test.
And that's about it, really. But now I'm good to go. I want to build another shaping room.
Okay.
For just in the future, down the line, that people can use for like hire out or whatever.
Right.
Or if anybody's like any other shapers are visiting or something like that.
Oh right, yeah, that's
in the
cool.
future,
Right.
especially with the wave garden opening
Yeah,
up
yeah,
as
right,
well.
yeah.
So just kind of thinking ahead.
Yeah.
And just I've got orders, like 5 or 6 orders.
Oh, so you're taking orders
through.
already, yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking orders now. When the process is actually ordering materials.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that'll be the next week or so. Get
All right, okay.
Get everything moving.
Oh, we're looking forward to seeing them out in the water.
Yeah. So it's getting there.
And then, like, questions we all often ask, like surfers, is what's like best and worst wipeout, like best wave, worst wipeout you've ever had experience? Can you remember? Can you remember the best wave
In
you've
the
ever
surf.
had in the surf?
Best wave
Yeah.
and best wipeout.
Yeah. No, best wave and worst wipeout.
The best wipeout.
Yeah, all your best wipeout.
Yeah. The ones you come back from.
I think I had mine today.
True.
They always amuse you anyway afterwards, don't they?
Well, that's the ones. Yeah, that's the ones you can remember, isn't it?
Yeah, the best wave was Thursday East.
Yeah.
I think there was only me and another guy in. And it was about head and a half. It was quite a good size. And I think I decided just to try paddle a little bit further down into where the peak was.
Yeah.
And just kind of just push it a bit more. And then took off, got to the bottom, and then looked up at this massive wall, and I'm just like, fuck. I've got 2 decisions. I can either straighten out, or I can try and get under this lip and just get under this lip. So I had two options.
And
So
that much
split
time
second.
to
Yeah.
So
decide
I
it.
either go straight, or I try and tuck up under this thing.
I've gone straight.
Totally.
So yeah, so I managed to get tucked up under it,
Yeah.
and then I can't remember how long I was in it for, but I just remember coming off this end of this wave and just shaking after that, and I was just like, what the fuck what just happened?
I saw you.
Was
Yeah.
that
I
the
had to
first
just
barrel as
stop.
well, or
No,
had you been in
no.
before?
No, it was just
Was it the size?
it was just such an intense thing that happened. I was just like, what? So yeah, it was just one of those split decision things, but the
You-
adrenaline was
yeah.
like insane.
You know, if you said I come out shaking, you were in there for a long time.
Oh, we came out the
I,
water
don't know,
shaking
I think it was
today.
just how heavy it was kind of feeling.
Yeah.
You know, I was just like, this was a bigger
Yeah,
one.
totally.
I was like, okay, right. I put myself in a situation I'd never really been before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I'd been in barrels before, but I'd never been.
It kind of goes to show the power of just pushing yourself, doesn't it? Because
Yeah.
you get rewarded like that. Admittedly, that's not always going to be the case.
Yeah.
More times out
It's
than
just
none.
It's just taking that
Mm,
leap into the unknown.
definitely.
Yeah.
If you don't go there, you don't
No.
know what it's like.
And what
Yeah, I
about
know,
your
it's
worst experience in the surf?
This is it cold in them.
All right, okay.
Actually, quite a big day.
Yeah.
It must be like
Seen some massive
head
days
and
there,
a half
yeah.
or so, whatever. But it was at the south end of the bay, and it was just
Yeah.
kind of lumpy swell, and I think was it duck diving. Yeah, I was just paddling out after I caught a wave, and I was paddling out, and I'm just looking at this thing just rearing up in front of me as I'm paddling out, just going, what the hell? And I was like, right, here we go, that's duck dive. Duck dive, and I get down there, and my board comes out my hands, and the leash just went ping. And I just remember just opening my eyes, going, it's pretty dark down here. I was like,
I never
I
opened my
must be
eyes
quite
underwater.
I must be quite deep. And I was in the summertime as well, so I had like a 3-2 on, so you didn't have as much buoyancy. So I remember swimming up to the surface, and the board's gone. So I just had to swim in.
Was it one of your own boards, or was it a...
No.
Oh, so you can't blame the leash plug from
No,
your own handiwork.
That was none of mine.
Yeah.
But that's yeah. I've not had many crazy ones really.
Do you know the people that always tell stories of like good barrels or good waves they've had or everything? All of their stories is I've not really had many bad ones.
It's true. Yeah.
Our stories start on. Yeah, we've had
Oh,
loads
God.
of bad
How
ones.
much time have you? How much time have you got to listen? They're more bad than good.
Yeah.
And if people are, in Scotland, they want to check you out. Where can they find you, online and in person?
So, well, online, website, Instagram, Facebook, and then you get to find all the details on those
It's all Jay
media
Surfboards.
platforms. So it's Jay Surfboards.
Jay Surfboards.
Yeah, Jay Surfboards.
And just south of Edinburgh.
What's that?
Just south of Edinburgh. People want to pop in, say
That's it, yeah.
hello. Dalkeith.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
It's no far.
He doesn't make Mitchell tartan boards, or anyone else.
I think everyone out there needs
Disclaimer.
to.
Unless your name's Mitchell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone out there needs to get a Mitchell tartan board just to make you not feel special anymore.
Wow. It won't be as nice as that one. I'll make sure of it. I'll find them.
Yeah. Well, cheers for taking the time to chat to us, and best of luck with the, what are we calling it? A reboot, a regen, a restart,
A reset.
a
Because
reset.
you've been able to
Call it what you like.
You've got better space.
Call it
haven't
what
you?
you
You've been
like,
able
as long as
to.
you pay.
It's like when you move your living room round and you're like, why have I not done this before? Like, I've got so much more space and it's laid out so much better.
Yeah. There's still some stuff you can do. So because that wall there is a load bearing wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's actually space upstairs. No upstairs.
Nice.
There's no upstairs yet, but there's a loft area up there.
Okay.
But you can fully stand up in it.
Small shape in places.
No shaping, no. I don't know yet. Don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we wish you all the best in getting back to it, and we're looking forward to seeing your progress and some of these boards back on global social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's shout out to Board Porn. Share the Mitchell tartan board.
Just share any board. Any board Jay makes, just share it.
Cheers, Jay.
Cheers.
No worries.
Well, thanks for that, Jay.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean there's two? I'm sat here confused. What do you mean there's two East Coasts?
What? You've been
You just
holding
said at
on
the
to
beginning,
that.
you went, yeah.
You've been
Is it
holding
East-
on.
How many East Coasts are there?
You've
Surely
been
it's
holding on to that for the
surely
last
it's just
hour.
never eat shredded wheat, isn't it?
Never eat. That's how I always remembered it. I never understood that one though. Never eat shredded wheat. Is it not easier just to remember north, east, south, west? Anyway, because it's less letters. Anyway, because I sit in, where I live is like an estuary across from Edinburgh, so
Yeah.
that faces, because it kind of cuts away
Yeah.
with the way I face. Pease Bay, which is directly across the water from where I am, faces the same way. So they both face east.
Why lying for?
So this is other East Coast. Anyway,
Whatever.
Anyway, let's get
And
back
you're,
to the episode.
Yeah.
Jay,
Yeah,
it was really good to be able to catch up. It's the first time I've been in the factory since the fire as well. As we mentioned during that episode there, my board that I've banged on about so much, my little replica of a replica of a replica of a Machado Creeper, a Machado Creeper, ended up being the last board to come out of Jay's factory as well, which is pretty nuts actually. So to go back and see, having seen the photos of what happened and the carnage, you sort of look at something like that and think, how does somebody come back from that, And it's nice to see that.
That new place he's got now. Then obviously I never saw the one before, but what he's got there now is absolutely fantastic looking. He's got some great boards on the wall, boards with people that I've never even heard of, and but there's some of the things he's got around there are absolutely amazing.
No, totally. And he has got an eclectic, probably not eclectic taste, the wrong thing to say, but an
eclectic collection.
An eclectic collection of boards, and there's something quite deep in there, I think, about he's just buying and finding and sourcing these boards for no other reason than to give these boards some love, to bring them back to a bit of life, and then either just redisplay them or try and reunite them to the original owner. Like there was the board that he had from Kelly from way back in the day, and he again, a board that he found, managed to get hold of it, restored it, and actually took it to Kelly when he was playing golf last year when we were busy chinning Kelly off. to surf.
You were.
I was. So yeah, no. So it's great to see, and it seems like Jay's absolutely thriving now.
Yeah.
We're kind of obviously we're quite a long way on from when we recorded that episode as well. And actually, I think is this the last of the Scotland edition? This episode now.
Yeah, this is the last of the Scotland edition,
Oh
and
no.
well, the next. You're talking about boards then, and it just straight away. We'll make it the next episode actually, after this one. And I was thinking the board I saw when we were in Wales, and it's the most, regardless of all of the other things,
Oh
because
yeah.
I saw this board in Wales, and
Was that the
it's
20?
anyone who knows it, it's screwed to the ceiling of a surf shop in Wales, and anybody who knows that place will already go, yeah. And it's Jay Moriarty's board, and I don't know if you've seen the film Chasing Mavericks, which is based on the life of Jay Moriarty.
Riley.
It's absolutely brilliant. It's a
No,
fantastic
sorry.
film, but it was well good to see that board in person. So sorry, that was a sidetrack because that will make that the next episode then, so you'll hear all about that. But yeah, it was fantastic. It was great to go and see there. It was great to drive away from the castle afterwards, which people were asking me if that's where you lived when we were up there.
Well, I did for quite a while. And if this outro was a little bit disjointed, it's because my door has been going non-stop. I've just had my third Wi-Fi extender booster turned up. Thanks, Virgin. Bloody useless Wi-Fi. Also, when I went to answer the door just now to get this Virgin Wi-Fi booster thingy-majig, as I came back through, my son, he's like 16, came out of the toilet. He's obviously having a steaming jobby, but he walked out of the toilet and his hand was in one hand, and his hand was his phone and a plate of toast and ham. What are you doing in there? So I'm calling
He's
you
having
out.
a cheesy toast wank.
I wondered how they got that. So random.
Oh man.
So random.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So now half your son's mates will be at school or whatever, being, "What are you doing in the toilet?"
Yeah, because they all listen.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Oh, and do you know what? Before we close this one down,
Yeah.
maybe go more into details in the buy me a coffee. So check that out if you want to know. But I was in London last weekend, and honestly, we were in this very, very booked out, expensive, only one in London sort of type rooftop bar for a very well off set of people's engagement party, shall we say, right? And so there was only like 10 of us, 4 of us
Yeah.
were me, Special K, her sister and her boyfriend, Phil. Some random ass guy just came over. We got chatting, ended up both surfers, got chatting about surfing. He's like, I recognize your voice. I was like, I don't know why. And we got chatting away. And then someone's like, oh, yeah, he runs a podcast. He does a podcast. He's like, what podcast is it? Oh, it's the UK Surf Show. And he went, no way. I love that show. Like, how fucking random. Like, these people just coming out of nowhere. It's just, and I'm making that sound like, I don't know, it's not a great thing. That's absolutely amazing. Like, it's so nice to hear that. I still get baffled by the fact people are willing to listen to me and you talk shit.
Yeah.
It's really cool though. At the same time, it's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, I know the amount of messages I get every week saying when's Leighton coming back. It's absolutely.
Is Leighton back from his walk?
Yeah, he's back from his walk. We'll talk about that on the
Okay.
on future episode coming up. We'll probably mention that, and we'll talk a bit about it on the Buy Me Coffee as well. So yeah, head over there if you want extra stuff. And yeah, I think that's it for this week's episode. Don't forget, head over to Srface, use the discount code UK Surf Show 23. That will get you 10% off anything you order from Surface Wetsuits. And hopefully by now, the dry road banner should be on the website.
I really want to
dry
know
road stuff through there.
if Leighton found it.
What, the Lost City?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Lost City. Oh, I was trying to remember. What's that TV program
Petra.
in the 80s with the Lost City? City of Gold? Cities of Gold? Ulysses? I can't remember. Something like that. Anyway,
Pete's having a
I'm
breakdown.
going off on one. Yeah.
Fuel to go.
See you on the Buy Me Copy.
Toodles.
Yeah, see you later.